And there is former President Trump entering that hallway outside that New York City courtroom. It looks like he's going to address the cameras. Let's listen.
This is a witch hunt. It's a hoax. Thank you.
Former President keeping it relatively short there compared to normal, calling it a witch hunt and a hoax, things we've heard before.
Yeah.
John, what do you make of that?
Well, you know, I also see, I'm trying to see everybody walking into court with him right now. I saw most of Donald Trump's legal team led by Todd Blanche, a former federal prosecutor who's become the lead attorney, Diane, on all of the Trump cases right now, this being the Manhattan case, but Blanche is also working on the two special counsel cases, one involving the efforts to overturn the election and the documents case down in Florida. But again, the sign of where things are merging, right? Donald Trump right there walking into that courtroom, half of the people there, his legal team, the other half, I saw Jason Miller and Stephen Chung on his campaign, his 2024 campaign team. This is where Donald Trump's worlds are colliding all at the same time. And I think that that image is going to become one, A, we're going to have to get used to, but B, how does that translate, right? Because this trial, as we started our conversation a few moments ago, is delayed, right? It gets closer and closer as the clock ticks to November. Donald Trump does have to be out on the campaign trail. So when this trial begins, it's going to be different. And I think for most people at home, you know, you remember Donald Trump popping into courtrooms when he didn't have to. This is going to be significantly different because Manhattan is a criminal case. He has to physically be in that courthouse. And the way, as we understand it, Judge Merchan has sort of stacked these proceedings for the moment is that it's not going to be a normal week. And what I mean by that is court's going to allegedly sit, as we understand it, Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, sit Thursday, Friday, meaning the only day Donald Trump could theoretically run out and do a campaign-like event is midweek. That's not really a great opportunity, right? I covered Donald Trump's first campaign, as you know. I lived on the road. The time when candidates are out there really meeting voters, when most voters are off, on Fridays, heading into the weekend, so it's going to make it a little challenging.
So, Brian, what are the key arguments today?
The key arguments here are when the district attorney got the information, that being the discovery, when they seeked it, the argument being due diligence. Did they do their due diligence to seek out the information that they would have turned over to the defense? And then for the defense, they're arguing that this delay is going to harm them or prejudice them beyond just a few extra days or hours of researching the case. Now, I agree with Chris. I don't think it's going to reach the level of dismissal. New York has very strong discovery laws. We've changed about 2 or 3 years ago that afford a defense more opportunities. But this kind of 11th hour information dump is not unusual for a Manhattan DA or where I used to practice in Brooklyn. And so I think the defense is going to come pretty hard in terms of saying this should have been turned over earlier, there should have been due diligence, and if not, at the very least, they should get a greater delay.
So, Olivia, how is this expected to play out in court today?
Well, what's kind of interesting, Diane, is that what the judge asked for ahead of today was a detailed timeline from each of the sides, all of their correspondence, their emails, their records related to how these documents came about. So I would expect that each side is going to lay out their efforts to get a hold of these documents. And Brian just hit on something very important, which is, did the DA try hard enough to get these documents beforehand? They have said that they were denied the documents, but Trump's team has said that they didn't even try at all to get their hands on them. And it was only when Donald Trump issued his own subpoena in January that the documents were handed over. So I would expect that the judge is going to sort of parse through that a little bit and have each side walk him through what they did or did not do in order to get a hold of these documents. Because remember, he is looking for who is at fault, if anyone, because of the late production. And that is what is going to play into his decision on how much to delay the trial, if he does delay it again, on whether he dismisses the indictment, which Donald Trump has asked for, and whether he sanctions the DA's office, which, again, Donald Trump has also asked for.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.